We are in Book of Samuel. Please subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up. Hit the bell. There you go. Everybody hit the bell. And so then you get the notification that a new classes come out. Okay, so we are on chapter 17, and we are on verse 29. And what's going on is David has come down to the battlefield, and his brother, let's put everything in perspective. His father sent him to the battlefield because his father wanted him to check out the welfare of the brothers. He then dropped off the food. Sorry?
I thought you meant sheep, but that was
No,
after.
no. He dropped off the food at the camp, and then because his father had told him to find out the welfare of his brothers, so he proceeds on to into the battlefield to see what's going on with the brothers. The brother sees him and says, "What are you doing here, you little shmendrik, you?" Okay, we know what you know. Shmendrik
Is Spencer Hebrew or Yiddish?
Yiddish. So, what are you doing here? You little troublemaker, you always want to just break away. You left the sheep, you left everything alone. Just because I know you're mischievous and you want to come down to the camp. He really rips down his youngest brother. And good old Eliav, that's what an older brother is for. That's what he's all about, ripping down the younger brother. Okay, fine. So, Vayomer David, and now 29. Vayomer David, what did I do now? Hello, Devaru. Surely this is the matter. So again, it's an interesting response, and he says, it's not but a word. Okay, it's not but a word. I don't know what that means in English. Okay, but anyway, he's saying what I do. I didn't do anything wrong. So if you look at where is it? The Metzudas David, again, going for a simple understanding of the text here, he says, if it's, what's he asking his brother? If it's your manner to be angry at me about doing anything that's bad in your eyes, what did I do now? I didn't do anything. I came down. I said,
Why didn't it occur to him to say that their father sent him down to check on them?
because when your brother attacks you, you're not interested.
Huh.
Yeah, that's his
But
brothers.
the father is common to both. It's
Again, when your brother attacks you when your sibling will attack you for no reason, you don't feel like you have to explain. I'll give an example. Today we didn't have a minion here. We knew we would not have a minion, so we canceled the minion. Fine, in the morning minion. So what happened was I went to another minion. So you know sooner or later someone's going to say to you, "So what are you doing here?
Who's minding the store?
Yeah, why are you here?"
Yeah.
So and so you already know in your mind. You don't want to say we couldn't get a minion because what why is it bother you that I came to the minion? Why do you have to ask a question? Just say Shalom Aleichem to me. Shalom Aleichem. How are you? Nice to see you. It's a pleasure. Yeah, hopefully we'll see you again, or hopefully we won't see you again. Whatever the case is.
Would you like some punch?
Would you like some punch? Or some coffee? Be nice about it. Say good morning. Well, not. What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here? So of course,
because he's a little kid.
So by the way, the answer was, I want to see how the other half lives. That was my answer. I didn't want to answer, so I knew I was going to get it.
Did the brothers realize already he was his father's favorite? Apparently, at this point.
No, he's not.
He's not.
It's not his father's favorite at all. It's not his father's favorite at all. The father didn't want to acknowledge he was there.
Confusing David with Joseph?
Yeah, I was just thinking.
Yeah,
that.
I'm not. He wasn't. Yeah, it's not Joseph
one,
here.
you
It's not Joseph here. So that's what he said. Why are you angry at me? Normally you get angry for the reason. So what are you angry at me for? Hello, atalo asitim uma. I didn't do anything. I'm only speaking words. What's your problem? I didn't do anything. So why are you angry? Again, if he would have said, let's understand. It says Eliav heard. The previous verse was Eliav heard his brother speaking to men, and he became angry at him. What are you doing here? Why do you live? What are you angry? I was speaking to people, and you're getting angry. Be nice about it. Say, David, Mom, it's a beautiful thing to see you. So how's Dad? How's his sheep? How's everything at home? I miss everybody. No, what do you say? What are you doing here? Why? I wouldn't, if I'm being attacked, you're not going to answer me nicely. I mean, I'm not going to answer you
I
nicely.
would
If
have
I'm being
started right back
attacked,
and said he was doing what his father wanted him to do.
again, if I'm being attacked for that, I'm not going to answer you straight out. Dad told me to come. What's your problem? Why are you angry? Ask the question. Why are you here? What's going on? Something's wrong. Something's right. It was just a matter of he came out angrily at him. That's what it says. Vayichar af. He was angry. So if somebody's going to be angry at me, I'm not going to respond to you appropriately.
So, but it looks so. David comes and it looks like he starts talking to the men first, and you hear about this Philistine, and so maybe the brothers again. He was horning in. Maybe that they're older than him.
It's only Eliav. Nobody. The other brothers are leaving him alone.
Okay, so Eliav.
Eliav's the oldest brother.
So David is horning in. Maybe he's trying to take over some responsibility from the older brother.
Again.
Why are you talking to the men? That's my job.
Again, so be nice about it. There's always, what you're learning here is there's two ways to approach a problem. One is you can be very nice and say, hi, how you doing? Nice to see you. Have a cup of coffee with me. Let's go. How's dad? That would be normal. How's dad? You're coming. You obviously have a reason for being here. So tell me what's going on. That's the correct way to do this. Not, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
I went on a vacation. I wanted to see you. I missed you so much. Yeah, leave me alone. So that's the simple way of understanding the verse. Okay, so the Malbim. Oh, he doesn't speak on this. Am I right? He doesn't speak on this verse. Right. Okay, so that's number one. Let's get to the next one. So it says, "Vayisav etzlo." Yeah. Okay. El mul acher. So he went around next to him, as it were. How do you say it? He turned around from him. Okay, and vayomer kedavar hazeh, and he said, like this matter, which is again strange words here, spoke according to the same manner. Fine. Vayshavu am davar, and the nation answered him in the matter, kedavar rishon, like the first time.
Oh.
So he ignores his older brother. Have a good day. I'm not interested in what you want from me. And he starts to talk to people. Listen. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
He said, "Koyas," and then they tell him what was it mean? Like this matter. So again, the Mitzvah David is saying that which the man had said. In other words, what did Goliath actually say? But and they heard the matter. So Shediber David, that David was speaking. So they told this to Saul, and he took him. Okay, so again, it's an interesting thing that's going on here, because the people, he's speaking to the people, and that which the words that David had spoken. We don't know what David said, by the way. He spoke about that. We don't know what he's saying. No. It's a very hidden statement going on here. But we know that whatever he said got to Shaul. So it's and so that's finally where the Malbim kicks in again. He took a vacation for two verses, but it says Vayishnu Eitzel. So they heard it or they listened to it near Eitzel Shaul Hevinu Midvarav, and so Shaul understood from his words Kihu Ish Haruach, that he was a man of spirit. V'chikinat Hashem Nosasabo, and the vengeance of Hashem was within him. V'shakul Etzlo. And so he understood that he's going to be equal to everybody. This kid is apparently good. He's talking up a good storm. Again, what he's saying, no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah.
If you go to so if you go to line with him, line 27, He said, and the people said to him again, we make a distinction between blah, blah, blah. The man of esteem did not reply. They did not take him seriously. Only the multitude replied to him. They said, only with the intent of the more, and the intent of Lamor to say to the king that a young man wishes to accept Goliath's challenge. Okay, so that's what they're now. Again, he didn't say anything like that we have, but apparently he's talking and saying, what is the problem? David. Apparently he's saying that. Again, there's no indication in the verse, but that's what is being told to Shaul, that we have a guy who's willing to go out. Okay.
Well, apparently, yeah. I mean, again, going back several verses before that, when David said to the men, what shall be done?
Right.
To the man who slays the Philistine.
Right.
That seems to be his interest at this point.
Okay, so what's done, but he doesn't say he's going to do it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He
certainly
doesn't get in. He doesn't get more into it. Where was that verse?
So back 26.
So right. So what will be done to the man? And then so David's 26. What will be done to remove this thing? And they told him blah blah blah, and that's what's going to be done. But he never volunteers. He's never volunteering. He's just asking the question.
Yeah, he wants
it seems to be informational, but the way we're understanding the story is
nobody wants to do anything about it.
No,
right?
more what we're understanding as the story develops. Yeah. We're understanding the rabbis are bringing down the tradition is everything but the text. I'm saying all these different words. The text does not say it, but apparently what's happening is he's volunteered or speaking a good game.
Yeah,
and David,
and
is being so his words are being brought to Shaul, and Shaul is saying, "Oh, okay, fine."
In other words, just by his manner of inquiring,
whatever the case is going to be, I guess he could have.
The rabbis were inferring from that.
They're inferring from the words because the words don't make sense.
Yeah.
Again, if I just translate literally, even if I read him from the English here,
yeah.
David said, he turned to him. Told now that he spoke according to the same manner. The people answered according to the former manner. The words which David had spoken were heard, and they relate what was spoken. There's nothing spoken here.
Yeah.
So again, from those words, you have to now bring in. This is a classical case. This is a class. Let me just finish, please. This is a classical case of the words not saying anything, and therefore I need the interpretation.
Yeah.
I need the oral tradition to fill in the blanks. This is totally filling in the blanks.
That's, I mean, going from 29 and 30, and he turned around and toward another, and he spoke according to the same manner. So I'm assuming that means the same back here in 26 when he's asking what's
so how many times do you have to hear what's going to happen? So what's going to happen? So, say it again. That's it. Really? That's. What are you talking about? Okay. So that's what I'm saying. How many times can you ask what's going to happen?
And
then Eliav has to interrupt him. What are you doing here? What are you doing? Okay.
Apparently he's seeing as a young upstart kid coming in, his little brother.
Maybe.
What's he inquiring about this?
Well, by the way,
what's he going to do about it?
By the way, I want to defend Eliav for a second. I'm going to defend the older brother.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the older brother, again, you have Eliav as a trained soldier.
Yeah.
He has the armor. David is a shepherd.
That's what I mean. It's an upstart kid.
No, forget the upstart. Forget the upstart. He's saying to him, "You're out of your league. This is not for you. You're a shepherd. Just go back to the sheep. You're not trained for this. I don't want you to die. I care about you. I love you. Now, am I angry at you? Yeah, because you're getting involved in something you don't know what you're getting involved into. You hear all the rewards. Everybody, you think this is cowboys and Indians, if you will. This isn't. People get hurt. War is hell. People die. And if you came, for whatever reasons you've come, you little mischievous kid, I know you like to get involved in things, but this is not your place. Go back home. Get out of here. You weren't called to duty. You're supposed to, I'm here. Your two brothers are here. We'll take care of this. Or we won't, whatever the case is. But we don't want you to die. It could be that simple.
Yeah.
And the brother, of course, David is hearing it as, well, what's your problem? I didn't do anything. He could be hearing it, but really there could be a lot of love involved in this. Why does an older brother, why does an older sibling always want to berate the younger one because, well, one is they want to have the power trip.
The 18-year-old and the 13-year-old.
Right, but one is a power trip, but the other one is simply, I need to take care of you. Why did Reuven want, in the biblical story, why did he want to save Yosef? Not because he loved Yosef, because he knew that his father is going to blame him if Yosef is not coming home. So he says, I'm the one who's going to be blamed, not you. So here Eliav could be saying the same thing. If I let you die, Dad is going to hold it against me for the rest of my life, the rest of his life. And I don't need that. I don't need the guilt. So what are you doing here? So it could be that way too. More than the young upstart, what, you're going to take my place? I don't think he was worried about taking a place because nobody really, if I'm going to go in front of a lion and you're there, you're not going to say to me, what are you doing? Right? You're going to say, go ahead. By all means, be my guest. Because maybe the lion will get tired by eating you up and he won't want me. You know, that sort of thing. So Eliav, I think, is, again, doing it from love as the older brother, and even, and if not for love, at least because of the fear of his father holding it against him. Why didn't you protect your younger brother? You're older than he is. You should have known better, right? That's what the older brother always get picked on. You should have known better. Okay, so I think really that's where you have to go with that. But like I said, regardless, he hears the words, he takes them. Vayomer David el Shaul, al yipol lev adam alav ad l'chayelev. Okay. So David says to Shaul, do not let the fear of heart, the heart of man fall on this one, or because in other words, don't be afraid. Okay. So Abdechal Yelech, your servant will go, v'nilcham im ha-Plishti, and he will fight with this Plishti. So fine. So now he offers. He says, and so Malbim says, Al Yipol, Rad Shalimor. He wants to say, Ein Roy Shalev Adam Yipol. It's not proper for the heart of man to fall Madrigo Ba'avarov from his level because of this, because of him. Ki agam lefi chamoro hu rav koach, because also according to his nature he is strong. Hu chalush mitzad sorto, and from he's weak because of his form that's dwelling in his heart. Belev adam shu adam be'emet v'saratu hu rav koach imenu. But at the heart of man, of a true man, his form will be like the strength within him. And therefore, your servant will go forth and will fight from the strength of the nefesh of his soul, as shall be yet to say, which is within me to carry. So he's saying that you have two types of people. One who's going to let fear conquer him. I'm updating the language, or is going to let the fear rule him, whatever the case is going to be. Okay, so he's going to use that power. A real man is not going to be afraid of this. So I'll be the real man. Or as it says in Pirkei Avot, where there is no man, strive to be the man. Where there are no men, strive to be the man. Where there are no men, where there are no men, leaders, so strive to be the leader. Normally, we would stay away from leadership because leadership just kills. It's not a good thing. Leadership makes you old. I mean, look at any one of our presidents. Yeah. They age literally in their office. But it will be interesting to see what's his name at the end. Trump, but because his hair is already gray anyway. But
I thought his hair was red.
Yep. Trump?
Isn't it red hair? I never look at it.
President?
Red hair?
No, he doesn't have red hair. He has golden hair.
Yeah, I think it was.
He has golden hair.
What verse are you in right
I'm
now?
I'm in 32. 32. So I'm mean the commentary. That's why I'm out. But that's what he's basically saying, that that the soul, that you can't let your heart conduct your. You should be afraid of this guy because we're not to be afraid of him. Okay. So and Mitzudas David says again simply, Al lo yecharad Leave a number of what Plishti. A person's heart shouldn't tremble because of this Plishti. That's what he's saying to them. Why is everybody getting excited about this giant? Who cares? It's a giant, so what is he? He's a man. He's only a man.
What were the relative sizes of the forces at this time? There were Philistines one side of the mountain. There were.
You talking about numbers?
Yes.
Well, that wouldn't really matter just because it's only one Plishti against.
I know,
right.
But why did he walk away from his troops? Why did either of them walk out from
the Plishti? Because the Malbim explained that. He said the reason that Goliath went forth is because both of them were holding their respective hills, and they were just looking threatening glances towards each other. So now, when they realized that the Jews were not going to come after them, so they said, "Okay, we already defeated them. Now it's just a matter of how fast can we end this war." So I'm going to, Goliath, giant that I am, will go out and challenge them. Well, he goes into the middle of the valley, screams up toward them, and there's no response. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. Now he says, "Oh, they're absolutely afraid of me. Now I'm going to start ascending." So he doesn't have to have the army follow him. That's what the assumption is. And now he's asking for one person. Let's do one, man on man. That's it. I don't want one guy. You defeat me, we're your slaves. I defeat you, you're our slaves.
Sort of like arm wrestling. 1-on-1.
A boxing match, whatever the case is going to be. More of a boxing match because they have referees and they have to have equal. Malbim says they have to have equal armory and so on and so forth. We have to make sure they're good fighters. Blah blah. And but the problem is going to be that because David is small and untrained to be an armor, he won't be able to wear that anyway. So he's going to go out as a shepherd boy against this giant. We'll see this giant, and then we'll see what happens. I mean, we all know the story. We've seen it playing on the movies. But okay, so Vayomer Shaul el David. Shaul says to David, "Lo tuchal aleched el Pelishti hazeh le'chem." You cannot go out to this Pelishti to fight him. Ki narata, because you are a young boy. And here's an interesting thing. Again, na'ar could mean fool. Na'ar could mean...
it's a translation business.
Right. Na'ar could mean young man. The same word can mean a lot of different things in this point. Na'ar could mean you're subservient to somebody else. Na'ar could mean you're a valiant person. But here, it seems to be indicating you are an untrained boy. You're not ready for the army. Vahu, again, it's comparison. Vahu ish malchamanim mina arab. And he was a man of war from his youth. You're just a boy. He was a man of war from his youth. You're a shepherd. You're somebody, that's it. What do you have to offer for this? What are you doing? Okay, that's the king talking to him. And so the Malbim says, Kina'ar, you can't go off for two reasons. What? Mitzadcha from your side, Sha'atanar, because you are a young boy. Mitzido from his side. Shumaluma milchama minma'ara, because he is trained in war from his youth. So it's not a fair battle. Why are you doing this to us? First of all, by the way, if you lose, we lose. It's not like, okay, so we'll have a wrestling match and best 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
It's not double elimination.
It's not double elimination. It's not, if you lose, I send somebody else out.
The next guy.
It's you versus them. Why? And I'm the king. Why would I want to send out a person who's not trained?
I'll become a slave.
I'll become the servant. I don't want that. So it doesn't make sense. So Shaul, by the way, is answering as a commander-in-chief at this point. He's right. On the tail of the tape, if you will, okay, it doesn't work. It would be like me going against pick any heavyweight boxer in the world.
Andre the Giant.
That's even worse. But I was saying pick any heavyweight boxer in the world, and I'm, even though no, I'm not. Oh, I make heavyweight. Yeah, I do. I think I make heavyweight by a pound. Okay, so again, put me to light heavyweight. No, not better. Okay, they'll kill me. I'm not trained for that. Okay, there's no way I'm going to be trained for that. You know, if I start working out now for the next month, 6 months, I'm too slow for them. They have the speed back. They've been training for years. I'm going to lose. Now here's not even saying I'm going to give you training. It's right now.
Yeah.
It's a do or die situation. Okay, so that's why it says Kinara Tavahu. He's been fighting since the beginning of life here. Yomer David El Shaul. David said to Shaul, Roeh Hayab de Chalavi Batson. Your servant was a shepherd. It's interesting he's using was a shepherd for his father with the sheep. Uvaha, he's giving a story. Okay, Uvaha Ari had a dove. And what happened was a lion came and a bear. Banasa Mehaeder, and it carried away a sheep from the flock. So the question is, who carried whom? So let's go into this story a little more. So it says in Malbim again, Vayom David Hodio lo kivar karalo. So he's informing him that an event already happened. Shenetzach et shem yote abire haguf mitze koach mimena. He's already given an example of him where he was fighting something that was stronger than him. Okay? Kibioto roya, and while he was again a shepherd, Ba'alav, Arividov, so both a lion and a bear came to him. Banasatse, and he carried, he carried. Midrash Sha'asalo Ezem or Haseh, that he made the Drash says that he made some sort of belt from the skin of the goat as a zeicher, as a memorial of this miracle, and he showed him with this belt as well. Okay, it's okay. So apparently he lifted up. So what was his name? David. David lifted up this or carried away the sheep. Right. Okay, so carried away. So he saved it from him. And so there can't be that. So what happened was one of these animals took the thing. Fine. I'm not sure which animal was then. So I went after him and I killed him and I saved this sheep from his mouth. And then he rose up against me. And I grabbed him by his beard. And I killed him. I struck him and I killed him. Okay. So he took on two wild animals. So it says, again, the Malbim was saying, I went out after him. First I hit him, and I saved the prey from his mouth. And after I stood up against him, I smote him and I killed him below Charav without a sword. It was only that which I grabbed him by his beard. I'm not sure. Again, I guess the lion has a beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I went out after him. Sorry, I just said that. Sorry. And also the lion and also the bear. He struck at your servant. Your servant struck. Sorry. And so this Pelishti, this uncircumcised Pelishti, will be like one of them. Because he has reviled, or they probably say taunted again, taunted the armies of the living God.
Yeah, this says disgraced.
Disgraced, okay? So then he says, right, so Malbim says, he continued to reinforce his trust from another side, Misad Hashgacha Hashem al Eliav, from the side of Hashem's supervision, divine supervision over those who fear Him. Amar Shegam Shahaya Kochi Chalash Neged Ha'ari Aviadov, even though my strength is nothing in comparison to that of a lion or a bear, Neged Palishti, and also corresponding to the this Palishti. Hine Hashem Asher Yisraeleni Mi'ari. Oh, so I have to go on. That was the opening statement. So, okay, just as the lion and the bear, I'm not anywhere in comparison to them, and yet I could beat them. So also this Palishti, verse 37. Vayomer David, and David said, Hashem, Asher Hitzilani miyad ha'ari miyad ha'dov, God that saved me, that caused me to be rescued from the hand of the lion and from the hand of the bear, Hu Yatzileni miyad ha'Palishti, He will save me from this Palishti. And that, by the way, that's the end of the paragraph, not the end of the sentence, but the end of the paragraph. And now it's starting a new paragraph in the Hebrew, but the ones who made up the sentences decided that it continues.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. 37 has a new paragraph starting, and by the time you get to 38, you're already into that next paragraph.
Correct. So now,
Yeah, in this edition, they don't. They give you an asterisk. Is that what the asterisk means up here in this edition?
Yes. Yeah.
So,
That's exactly it.
Why can you answer that?
Let me just finish the verse, and then I'll give you my best shot. Okay. Vayomer Shaul el David. So Shaul says, David, Lech, go. You win. Your argument is fantastic. Hashem yimach, and Hashem should be with you. Okay. Let me just finish off, and then what I'll do is we'll circle back to that question. Okay. I know the question, so that's why I put it up. So it says Vayomer David, again from the Malbim. So Hashem will save me just as Hashem rescued me from the hand of from the paws of the lion and the bear. And through His provision He saved me. Gamata derech nes, also now in a miraculous manner He will save me. Because according to this, the beginning was a simple natural custom. But now He's talking about using the words of divine supervision and miraculous stuff. And that's why Shaul agreed, because Shaul was certain about Hashem's divine supervision. That's why he said, go, and Hashem should be with you. Okay, that's why uses these words. Now, there's one of two reasons that line 37 is cut like that. One, it could be that we have a tradition like that, which is probably what's going on there. But the other one is also when the non-Jews, Jerome? Who made the?
Jerome.
So when the non-Jewish monk was making verses.
Was he a historian?
No, he was a
Jerome?
monk. I don't know. He was a translator.
Yeah, right.
So when he would number these verses, he didn't follow our tradition. He followed logic or his tradition, his bent, if you will. He wanted to make sense. So it would make sense that the last part, and David and Shaul says to David, "Go and God should be with you." It would make sense that this part of the previous paragraph, sentence, right? It's part of them, but in reality, it's just not. It's a different chapter.
You don't have my book, but look at this. If we go back, because we don't have to go back too far. Well, all right. So find, I don't know. There's a 16 here. So I see 1, 2. There's a time 3. All right. So
in chapter line 34.
Well,
you have a paragraph from 34 to 35, 6. You have a paragraph.
Paragraph 2 of this also has a new paragraph starting, but the new verse doesn't start until right in here.
Yeah.
You see it at the top of the page?
Right.
There's a new, yeah, and then 3 is buried in that. I don't know what my question is. I'm just saying it's an observation.
Oh, I'm going backwards. Going backwards.
Yeah. I was just looking for a precedent, and that happens.
No. That's not the precedent. Because with that, it goes to 18, right? And then the next one is 19. It starts at the proper place.
Yeah, I know, but keep on going where it says, I don't know whether it's a 16 or a 17, and then it shows verses 1, 2, and 3. And when they get to 3, they're already into that next paragraph because 2 was split.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. Notice if I go, you're going backwards. That's the problem. You can't go backwards.
Well, very often I edit. Half my time is spent going backwards when I edit.
Okay, go ahead. So
here, there's nothing here.
No, that goes from the previous one.
I guess I know, but the 3 isn't until here.
No, but that's because it started here. It started here, too.
I know, but here's the end of a sentence in 2.
No. Look.
There's space.
Oh, I don't know. That would be the samach. Okay.
But here's what I'm saying. So
Right.
in 3, that should be 3 because the beginning of.
Right.
But 3 doesn't come until there, so it's been done before.
No, again, he's writing. Again, this is a non-Jewish person writing a verse.
Yeah.
He's deciding where the verse number would be. That's what I'm saying. This is not a Jewish thing. When you're seeing that, so what you're doing is seeing the prejudice or the editorial talents of some other person to say where the verse, where the numbers are. Okay, but the break is clearly there. So now the other question would be, if anybody says something, right? No, I don't see anybody saying anything. So the other question would be is, why didn't the writer, the real writer, okay, Shmuel, why didn't he end the statement where you would think it would? Or why did he continue? Why do you break it up? Why is a paragraph broken up?
Yeah, God be with you. It sounds more like an end than a beginning.
Well, it's going to continue. The story even continues. So, like I said, he's saying, you're going to go, God be with you. No problem. Okay, let's go on. So now what happens? V'yalbe, she tells him, you go on. Okay, V'yalbe Shaul et David mit Madav. So Shaul dresses, well, caused David to be dressed with his armory, what does he call that? It's clothes, it's garments. I mean, that's what it's really called. Okay, just garments, fine. Vanatan Kova Nechosher, and he put on a brass helmet on his head, on his head, and he put him, and he dressed him up with armor. So again, he's not dressing him. He's just having him be dressed.
He's what?
He's not dressing him. He's having him dressed. Now, Shaul, I can't imagine the king dressing a soldier up. I just can't imagine.
Like you see in these movies with the knights and the armor. It's that somebody has to, because the armor is so heavy, somebody has to put it on him.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't think it's befitting the king. Yeah. So I'd be very surprised if the king is actually doing this.
Well, maybe it meant that he provided him with those things for him to put on.
Well, but
that's probably what it does mean.
It's just with his garments, so maybe he is.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure.
This is my own stuff that I wear.
Right. I'm not sure, but I don't think it would be proper.
Interesting.
I'm just saying I don't think it would be proper for him to do it. But let's see what the Bible says. So it says V'yalbe Shaul. So Shaul is a dress, and now why did he dress him? By the way, why is he giving him all these things? Again, David already said, I beat a lion and I beat a bear by myself without any weapon because it was from Hashem. So if that's the case, so send him out now as you are. What's the big deal? Hashem will save you like that too, right?
So he's taking a soldier's attitude. He's, hey, if you're going to go out fight this guy, He's dressed like a soldier. You should be dressed like a soldier.
Okay, that's exactly what he says. He says, "Chashav techila shinatzech oto b'derech milchama." So he thought maybe he's going to. The original statement, the original thought is he's going out there and he's going to fight in the normal manner of war. So sheroy lochamim shavim b'kli zayin. So if that's the case, then it's proper and fitting for him to be equally matched with equipment. And that's why he puts on the armor that he had. Okay. And then what happens? So Vayachkor David, next verse, 39, yeah. So Vayachkor David et Charbo, and David girded his sword. Mial the Madav, from on top of the clothes, V'yo Lechet, and he tried to walk Kilo Nisa, but he wasn't tested in this, and he couldn't move apparently. Okay, so he's just not going to go anywhere. And David el Shaul, so David said, "Shal lo uchal lechet be'elam." I can't go out with these things. Kilo Nasiti, I'm not tried. I haven't practiced. By Yisrael David me'alav, so David removed it from on him. Okay, so Melvin says when he tried to go, Pirush al yedei David lo nisa ba'olam me'olam b'zeh, since David was never tried and true with this sort of stuff. Lo yada im yuchal alecha b'vigadim hekela. He didn't know if he could go out with these clothes. V'im lo yuchal and if yuchal or im lo yuchal, whether or not he could go out with these clothes. So therefore, from the beginning, he wanted to go out, and so he explains, I'm not tested with this. Therefore, originally he thought he could, and afterwards, David thought maybe I could, maybe.
So he let himself be dressed.
I'll get myself be dressed. Then he tries this. No, I can't go out this kilo on the CT. I can't handle this. I don't like this stuff. Okay, fine.
You know who else did this? There was an I Love Lucy episode where she was wearing such a huge hat.
Which one was it?
I Love Lucy.
In I Love Lucy, she was wearing such a huge hat. They were making a movie. She couldn't keep it up. She kept falling over. So that's the thing.
Okay.
Like maybe it was like in an Abbott and Costello thing where he puts a suit of armor. You're in a haunted house where he puts a suit of armor on it.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember the I Love Lucy. I don't remember the Abbott and Costello.
You learn a lot of things from old TV.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. Okay.
This is where they get it from.
Probably. Okay. Okay. So now what happens? We're moving through the story here. Okay. So what happens is Vayikach, again, he dropped everything. He said, no, I can't do this. Vayikach maklo biyado. So he took the staff that was in his hands. Vayikabo lo chamisha chaluke avanim. He took with him 5 smooth stones minanachal from the valley. They want to say the valley, probably, right? From the brook. Okay.
It's funny, he translated it as pebbles. It's stones. Huh? He says pebbles here.
Well, it's pieces. It's pieces of smooth.
Avanim is just
okay. It's stone pebbles. Yeah,
it wasn't boulders.
Right. It was smooth stones.
River rocks.
Like the ones you would.
Yeah.
What's it called when you skimming rocks, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Vayasim otam, and he put them him in his shepherd's vessel, a shilo that was with him, Vialkut, for Kalo Biado, and now he had a sling, and what's the other thing called? His sack, slingshot was in his hand, shepherd's bag, and a sack. Okay, that's what they want to call it. Okay. Vayigash el police, and he approached the police team. So what happens here again? Malbim explains. Vayikach Yisapir Godel B'Tichono Shel David. The verse is telling you of the greatness of the trust of David. He didn't take with him weaponry. He only took stones and a staff, a shepherd's staff.
And God's blessing.
No, 100%. But that's what I'm saying. He's only going out with these weapons, namely the 5 stones Again, you have to ask. You could ask why 5 stones. You could ask a lot of questions. And the stick. Why this? What's the stick for? Okay, because shir yigrishu chayt taraf shaya hamicharev ke'echem mehem beinav. And when he was driving away the wild animals from the prey, that he would taunt one of them from in front of their eyes. So okay, so it could be that. Now let's we'll see from what Goliath's reaction is too. But really, if I'm lined up, if I have the tank with me, that's where I have all the armor. I have the
spear.
the spear and everything. I'm ready. I'm ready to kill, and I have this kid. Slingshot. Well, you really don't know about the slingshot even, but you just see him walking out with his shepherd's crook.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
What, are you crazy? You know, and you can see that and what's really going on. You're off. You're not ready for battle. You're taking the guy for granted. What's it called? When I think I'm going to beat him with no problem. I'm
Confidence, overconfidence.
yeah. You're overconfident. You don't really think about it. So okay, so I'll wipe you out. I can wipe you out whenever I want to. Right? That used many times. That's what they say about the boxers. Well, Muhammad Ali against, I love picking on that fight, but Muhammad Ali against Joe Frazier. He said he took him for granted, or Leon Spinks for that matter. There you go. Didn't take him seriously. Leon Spinks against Muhammad Ali. Yeah. That's when Leon Spinks became the world champ for the summer. But because Muhammad didn't take him seriously, he didn't train. He didn't do this. Came like a fat slob to the and he lost.
How was Goliath prepared?
Oh, he had all the armor on.
But that's not a weapon.
Oh, he had a spear. He had the spear that was very long, it says. He was geared for war. He was all ready. He
had weapons.
He had all the weapons, right? So that's what it says. So Plishti went out. David. He went and he was approaching David. The Fanav, and the man who was carrying the is the spear, I believe it was. Was it? The shield. I'm sorry. The shield before him.
Wait, who had the shield?
This is the Plishti.
He had another man.
The man was carrying the shield from the shield bearer.
Yeah.
The shield bearer.
Which verse are you in?
That was on 41.
All right, so you're not all right. Very nice.
So yeah.
Well,
Go back.
The answer to my question is in 45.
Oh, we didn't get there.
Goliath does have a sword, a spear, and a javelin.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So he goes out with his arms bare. So what happens? He says in 41, Holef Akarev David Ketiv, and then David is written by Yigash. When it comes to it's also interesting. When it comes to the words here, so when it comes to David, it says Vayigash, he approached. When it talks about Goliath, it says he came closer. So why? So Malbim says, in case you missed it, I already explained these words. I think it's interesting. I've already explained the difference between Kriva and Gisha, with coming close, or the words Kriva and Gisha, both meaning coming close. Hakriva Shirtiya ben Nashim Shavim. When you use the word Hakrav, that is referring to equal opponents. Hagasha, and the word Hagasha is in the place where a person needs to strengthen themselves, Lifnei Gadol, Lifnei Aretz, before a person is greater or stronger. So think about this. If I'm going to ask for a pay raise, is Vayigash, right? I have trepidation. I have to go to my boss. I have to ask for a pay raise. I have to defend myself. I have to say why I want the pay raise. As opposed to if I'm going to go to one of my co-workers who I'm not afraid of, it's equal battle, if you will. So that's going to be V'yakrev. Okay, that's all. L'chein David, shehu chaluz be'erech ha'plishti, ketuv es lavigash. So therefore, when it comes to David, who was weak in comparison to the police chief. Notice he doesn't have the equipment. So it's Vayigash, the police and but the police chief who was certain in his strength, he put all the he knew I could take the guy. It shouldn't come close. And he also answered that he can't move quickly because of the heaviness of his vessels. So Ketiva halach v'karev la'at la'at. So he says he was walking, coming closer slowly. Apparently, you can't run in armor. I'll take the word for it.
Yeah.
Can't run in armor. Okay. So what happens? Oh, like I say, took him for granted. The police chief looked and he saw David and he despised him. That's how you're going to say it? Despised him, right? Yeah, despised him. Beautiful. Because he was a young boy. He had money and he was ruddy. And he was a good looking kid too. He's getting a whole description here. You're good looking.
That ruddy business before when they used that word ruddy before when they first identified this human being. Yeah.
Correct, which means he's redhead, and redhead is bloodlust.
Oh, it's like red cheeks. I think a ruddy is like red cheeks.
Right.
Yeah.
But a kid who's a redhead is known as a bloodlust. So he wants blood.
Can we? I have to leave.
Okay.
Sort of. Can we end this?
Yeah, we're going to end this, right? Just let me finish.
The next verse.
Yeah. No, let me just finish the Malbim. We'll stop there. Okay, we'll stop at 42. So, Vayabed Aplishti. So, Rosh Lemor Bal Tachshov Shenafal Ema Bachar Aplishti. Don't think that trepidation and fear fell upon this Plishti. V'lach Elechein Nafal should do that, and that's why he fell. Kinepach was the opposite. Berototo. When he saw him, that he was young in years and he was a good-looking guy, he was obviously guarded because he was soft. And not tested in war, only because he was a redhead, had boiling blood. That's one reason he was going for something above his pay scale. But really, there's no reason to be afraid of this kid. The one indication is he's a redhead. Okay, so he may have a little bit of bloodlust in him. But otherwise, I don't have much to worry about. That's what he's thinking. Okay, stop there.